Now if you see it starting to get a little bit too thick for you, if you don't want it that thick, you can always feel free to add a little bit more milk to it if you want, which is what I'm going to do. A little bit more milk in there. Give myself a nice sauce. Now, I'm going to go ahead and throw my macaroni in there. But first, now the cheese is already salty. It's already salty, but I like to put a little bit of fresh black pepper up in there. And also, this is the last kick. I've got a lightly beaten egg, just one egg. I'm going to go ahead and temper my sauce a little bit here, because if you just dump it in there, it will make scrambled eggs. You don't want to do that. So I just put a little bit of the hot cheese sauce in the egg. Now I'll mix that in there, like so. So I've got it all coming together here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in my macaroni. This is going to be really good. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. So, you mix this in. I've got a little bit of melted butter I'm going to throw in there. Actually, just a little bit more. You can put a little bit of salt in here. I don't want it to be too salty. Just a little pinch of salt up in there. Not too much. Now, that's good. So then, the last thing we're going to add is the chopped spinach. Got some nice chopped fresh spinach here. Throw that in there. That's going to be really good. Really good. So, now, we're going to mix our spinach into the macaroni and cheese. Then, after you get it all nice and mixed up in there, you're going to top it with the rest of the remaining cheese. So, we can go ahead and turn that off. Turn your eye off. So, got a little bit more cheese here. Top it with that. Remainder of our cheddar. A little bit of our mozzarella here. Some nice fresh Parmesan on top there. Isn't that looking good? Wow, it's already looking delicious. Then, the final thing that we're gonna add, I took some breadcrumbs. I'd say about 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. And I added about a teaspoon of butter in there, maybe about a teaspoon and a half. Don't go too crazy with the butter, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have a heart attack. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle that on top of the macaroni and cheese with the spinach. Wow. Look at that. That's looking good. I can't wait to eat. I'm already getting hungry. We're going to do that with the macaroni and cheese and the cabbage. Wow. So, I've got my oven preheated at 350 degrees. Let's go ahead and throw that in there. So you're going to do that, bake that in the oven for about 40 minutes, and it is going to be phenomenal. Watch. So anyways, we're going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting my chicken together here, and when we get back, we're going to fry up the chicken and do the cabbage. Then it's time to eat. Yeah, don't go anywhere. Come right back. All right, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and finish our paprika fried chicken. We already got our baked macaroni and cheese with the spinach and the Parmesan cheese on top with breadcrumbs. We got that going nicely. And we're gonna go ahead and work on this cabbage and corn with the crispy pancetta too. So I got my grease nice and very hot there. So we're gonna go ahead and start dropping our chicken off in the oil. It's nice and hot. Nice and hot. So I've seasoned it up. Let's go ahead and drop one of these thighs in there. Now I got my cast iron pot going there. Cast iron, I love cooking in cast iron. It's great. So let's go ahead and drop that in there. Oh wow, yeah. Look at that. Drop that in there, skin side down. Go ahead and throw a leg in there. It's nice and seasoned up. Be careful not to burn yourself. He's sitting up with bandages on in front of your date. I hope you like the fried chicken. All burnt up. I'm gonna throw a wing in there. I like wings. Now, the trick with fried chicken, you want to make sure your grease is nice and hot, right? And what I like to do is I like to cover it up with a lid. Turns it into like your own little pressure cooker, you know what I mean? Let me go ahead and get my chopsticks ready. Oh, you didn't know I could get down like that? You know the Thuggin chef is international, right? You know? Oh, hashi desu ne. Kondanai. Nihongo wa karimasu yo. Yeah, that's Japanese. Okay, so I got my chicken in there. Got nice size. Now that's gonna take about 13 minutes. See, that's where a lot of people mess up with their fried chicken. They pull it out, it's all golden brown. Next thing you know, you take a bite out of it and blood's coming out. You're looking like Helter Skelter. It's looking like a horror movie. Your date, you know. She's feeling all bad. So I got it all covered up. Now when you cover it up, of course it gets a lot hotter. So you don't want to have it on high all the way, but I'll have it on just about high and just let that go for a minute. So let's go ahead and we'll let that fried chicken just go, let the skin get nice and crispy, and we'll start working on our cabbage and corn. So let's go ahead and turn up our saute pan. Now what I did was I went ahead and browned off the pancetta and I left the oil in there. That's going to taste good when you throw that cabbage up in there. I drained off most of the oil now. You know, I'm trying to watch my weight a little bit. I know some of you out there. If you want to, you know, do a lighter calorie version, you can go ahead and use the turkey bacon. Try it like that. Why not? So, we'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and add just a little bit of butter. I've already got the pancetta fat up in there. And I'll just put like not even a teaspoon. I know. Don't go too crazy with the butter. So, we'll let that go. Let it get nice and hot. Our chicken's going real nice. It's smelling good too. Oh, it's smelling really good. It's smelling really good. So, now you know this is real simple, comfort food. You know, everybody likes macaroni and cheese and fried chicken. Who doesn't like macaroni and cheese and fried chicken? I do. Fried chicken is actually one of the first things I actually cooked, you know. My grandmother was like, hey, you want some fried chicken? Go in there and cook it. I was like 7 years old at the time. Went in there, burnt myself up a little bit with that hot grease. So we got that going. So now, we've got our skillet nice and hot here. So let's go ahead and put in our cabbage. And it doesn't take long to put in cabbage, to cook cabbage. It cooks very fast. So we'll throw that in there. This is one of those quick, easy vegetable side dishes. You can just throw it all in at one time. I can even throw in my corn right now. No problem. Just throw it all in there. Got my corn in there, my cabbage. Then I'm going to let that heat up a little bit. I'm going to wait and throw the crispy pancetta at the end. That way it's still a little bit crispy and you got the nice tender cabbage and the corn. Let those flavors just all infuse in your mouth. You'll just be like, wow, that is good. So